Governor Moino releases 16.1 billion naira for payments of gratuities to retired civil servants in 10 months. Nascent pressure group Akune Phenomenal Ladies for Moino visit Akwa Ibom Deputy Governor in Uyo. Protection of strategic infrastructure. Lawmakers call for indefinite ban on scavenging in Akwa Ibom State. Arise scorecard. Ministries highlight achievements of Governor Moino in 10 months. We have details of these and other stories in a moment. A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. My name is Juliet Richard, and I begin by telling you that the Akwa Ibom State government has released additional 1.4 billion naira for the payment of gratuities to retired civil servants. This is in fulfillment of Governor Moino's campaign promise and is concerned for the welfare of senior citizens of the state who served the state while in active service. The breakdown of the payment, according to a release signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. Ekeretudo, indicates that 900 million naira is for retired state civil servants, while 500 million naira is for retired primary school teachers. The release of the additional 1.4 million naira brings to the total amount of gratuities paid so far by the Moino administration in 10 months to 16.1 million naira. According to the release, the gesture is to provide succor to the retirees and to help them to cushion the effects of the harsh economy currently experienced in the country. The Akwa Ibom State Deputy Governor Senator Akon Eyaye has appealed to women to develop themselves and brace for the opportunities which Governor Moino is creating for them in the state. Senator Eyaye made the appeal weekend when she received a social political group that goes by the name Akon Phenomenal Ladies for Moino at the Deputy Governor's Lodge Friday in Uyo. Uthumi Malkon has more on the report.
Senator Yarani received the delegation in her residence, expressed gratitude to the women across the 31 local government areas for their sacrifices during the last general elections for the emergence of Governor Moino. Senator Yarani also advised the women to avail themselves of the various skills acquisition programs in the state in order to build their capacities for leadership. She described the governor as gender-friendly and supporter of the women folk. Senator Yarani said the governor, in his race agenda, has instituted programs on entrepreneurship, which she advised the women to take advantage of. She announced that the governor was building what she described as 400 compassionate homes for widows in all the wards of the 31 local government areas, noting that 100 of the houses were ready for handing over to the beneficiaries.
The governor of Akwa Ibom State has not treated the women badly, starting from me, the way he carries me along in the governance. It's not just appointments that the governor will do to touch the lives of all the women. But this government can touch you, can help you, can support you in other ways. Entrepreneurship. Governor speaks about it every day.
The President General of ACON Phenomenal Women for Umaina, Mrs. Abigail Ekanem, appreciated the Deputy Governor for the warm reception accorded them and congratulated the Deputy Governor on her emergence as one of the 50 most outstanding women in leadership in the country. Mrs. Ekanem Yaranyi's sterling quality, hard work, and respect have endeared her to so many women mentor. She noted that Senator Yaranyi has changed narrative of women, stressing that her leadership style has inspired others to set the pace for others to follow. She reaffirmed the group's support to the current administration and appealed for more support from the government.
Your loyalty to our dear governor and wealth of experience have contributed to the stability of our state. Phenomenal 8 years.
Among others, AKBC News.
A stakeholders meeting on a bill for a law to amend the Akwa Ibom State Independent Electoral Commission, Law Cap 69, Laws of Akwa Ibom State 2022. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has praised Governor Moino's contained in matter of urgent public legislative affairs report. Uyukuswa completes the story.
Chief Johnson, whose matter was received for deliberation through a motion by the Akwa Ibom State Constitution.
Remember a motion on the prosecution of Children. And yesterday the governor wrote of law, and people of all are asking Mr. Speaker to say thank you, because the governor stood there yesterday and awarded the contract to NSEC, and people of all are comprised of the 5
ruled on the issue.
What about the member representing chief people of the House for being honest and expressing a deep and great sense of gratitude to my constituents, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, for the great job he's doing so far, especially in the area.
Thank you, speech to the Right Honourable Speaker for re-awarding the contracts of Oro, Satan, and the road to the entire Oro.
I think I moved from Oro Nation and Akwa Ibom State at last. Those in favor said aye. Those against said the ayes are that.
Uyoko Uswa, AKBC News.
Meanwhile, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has called on the state government to checkmate the activities of scavengers to forestall further destruction of strategic infrastructure. This followed a motion for an indefinite ban on scavenging by the House leader, Elder Sunday Johnny, who
The House leader in his motion explained the menace of scavenging and the attendant consequences and risk to the state, and advocated an indefinite ban.
Moreover, some of these critical investments put together by the government to better the education in the state has suffered a setback from criminal elements among the scavengers. Also, however, the vandalization of school property and infrastructure in our state is the direct attempt to jeopardize government's effort in developing education in our state. On this motion therefore prays that this House to resolve as follows. 1. Scavengers in Akwa Ibom State must, as a matter of urgency, be bound until further notice.
The motion was massively supported by his colleagues, with most of them highlighting security concerns.
I don't know why in every street of Uyo you see people buying bars. They can go to your house and get your generator in your absence and put in the bar and go away. Why our security agencies don't live up to expectation to arrest most of these convents?
solar power pumps have been vandalized so far, and the primary health centers and also the rural water schemes. Within the suspense of it, and so that over 100 activity have been provided by the previous government and the World Bank have also been vandalized. The death of my brother Mrs. Abu have been better than the brought by the banks. That was the judge in all hours. So the affairs and environment are really something about it. So let me the layout of bringing of this motion the house of bringing on this motion.
Speaker Udeme Otong directed the clerk of the House to communicate its resolution on the motion to the state governor for immediate implementation. Uyoko Swa, AKBC News.
Up ahead, a rice scorecard ministers highlights achievements of Governor Umoino. 10 years after, 92 Chibok school girls unaccounted for. We have details of this and more after the break. Stay with us.
This is home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. It's all about no matter where we be, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
Good to have you back. We bring you the rest of our stories. Akwa Ibom State government has kicked off its Arise scorecard. The maiden program is anchored on the theme food sufficiency and security. The interventionist and sustainability strategy of Governor Moino, the program has the Commissioner for Information, Comrade Ini Emamabong, as host, with the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Ofiofo, that of Economic Development, Mr. M.M. Almond Bo, and the Chairman Bulk Purchasing Agency, Mr. Dan Akpan, as panelists. Comrade Imi Ememabong explained that the Arise scorecard is aimed at highlighting government's achievements in the last 10 months. He maintained that every policy of government comes from the grassroots because the governor is passionate about rural development. The commissioner also asserted that the vision of government is not just to achieve food sufficiency, but to be able to export farm produce and other items from the state. The Commissioner for Economic Development, Mr. Membob, says the state government is passionate about the simulation of economic lives in the rural areas. Speaking at the maiden edition of the Arise scorecard, Mr. Bob opined that one of the initiatives to stimulate the economy was the validation of state social register. The Commissioner noted that the social register was well structured with 2.3 million registered people, stating that the number on the register would be used for various future interventions in the state. According to him, the governor has authorized the expansion of social register to accommodate the poorest of the poor. Mr. Bob emphasized that the various policies made by the state government are geared towards reducing multi-dimensional poverty in the state. The chairman, Bulk Purchase Agency, Mr. Danakpan, in his remark, lauded the state government for setting up the Bulk Purchases Agency. He gave the assurance that 3 teams would be set up to monitor the program in the 3 senatorial districts of the state. Similarly, Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Ofiomofo, has said that a good number of women farmers have accessed loans from the government to boost their businesses. Dr. Ofo also noted that the gesture has yielded increased production at the rural areas. She was speaking at the maiden edition of a rice scorecard hosted by the Ministry of Information. The commissioner noted that Akwa Ibom government has also constructed access routes to help in the evacuation of goods to the urban centers. Dr. Ofo further explained that the state government is collaborating with the federal government and the World Bank to provide farm input, including fertilizers, to farmers at the grassroots. She encouraged farmers to organize themselves into groups in order to benefit from government support and interventions. The immediate past Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, retired Justice Godwin Abraham, has charged husbands to love their wives as Christ loves the church. Justice Abraham gave the charge at the 2022 Couples Dinner of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Dominion Mega Parish, Uyo. Yours truly reports that the Couples Dinner, which was on the theme Reigniting Love in Marriage, availed couples the opportunity to reaffirm their marital vows.
In his exposition while dissecting marital issues, Justice Abraham said one of the cardinal concepts of Christianity is for husbands to love their wives just as Christ loves the church. Justice Abraham, a minister in the fold, said with the theme of the gathering, Reigniting Love in Marriage, it is important for couples to know that love is what binds marriages together.
So you love the Lord, you love yourself, and you love your neighbor. The love therefore becomes a very fundamental issue in Christianity. As a matter of fact, if you take out love, there is no Christianity. You can't say you are a Christian when you do not have this love embedded in you. You know, whether you are married or not married, the concept of love is universal, and it is that you should love one another.
In his remark, the Men's Fellowship President of the parish, Elder A.A. Emo, thanked God and the planning committee for making the occasion a reality, saying it will help to reignite love in marriages. Elder Emo advised couples to value each other, communicate regularly, correct each other with love, and above all, allow Jesus to be the chief cornerstone of their homes.
You see, marriage is not for perfect people. Marriage is for imperfect people. When they come together, provided they can forgive one another, the marriage will work. And in marriage, it is accepted there should be agreement and disagreement. There has to be disagreement and also agreement. But at the end of the day, there should be an agreement at the end. For a real healthy house, the two people, God said two of them should come out and live together. He said the man should leave his family and cleave to who? Cleave to the wife.
The pastor in charge of Province 1, Pastor Fidelis Umudieka, reminded couples that after many years in marriage, love and sometimes mutual bonding can be exhausted if not constantly renewed, charging couples to bring in innovations and spice up their love for each other. Pastor Umudieka prayed against divorce in marriages.
Always have Jesus in your home. Obey him. Whatsoever the Bible asks you to do, the husband do it. Whatever the government asks them to do, they work. Do it!
In an interactive session, salient questions and answers to issues affecting marriages were discussed.
Getting married is a serious business. And so before you even do that, you know that the mentor, not something you walk in and you walk out.
High point of the occasion was the cutting of cake and feeding of couples, while the drama troupe of this church filled the audience with their performance. Some couples have this to say about the occasion.
That we actually be looking forward to, that we will be able to sit down together, ponder on mental disease, and actually start to move forward.
Juliet Richard, AKBC News.
In an unprecedented show of love and support, men of the AKBC TV chapel of the NUJ recently treated women of the chapel to brunch to celebrate the International Women's Day. The event held at the exclusive Tilapia and Teens Lounge, 7 Benudo Street, Ewet Housing Estate, Uyo, had in attendance the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Information and Strategy, Akbarawa James Edet, and the DG AKBC, Mrs. Magdalene Udokan, among other guests.
Commending the men of the AKBC TV chapel for celebrating the women, Akbarawa James Edet said, "Women are rare gems and are valuable to society." He said this year's theme for Women's Day celebration, Inspire Inclusion, is significant as it underscores the importance of directing resources, support, and attention towards women to expedite advancement in all aspects of society. The Permanent Secretary also spoke on the need for society to be intentional in training the boy child so that he can be at par with the 21st century girl child.
And men as a whole, like the men in AKBC, must rally around the woman for the woman to succeed. So women are special people. So I'm very glad to know that our men in AKBC have maintained this beautiful tradition to support our women. And this support must just be superficial. Let this support not just be the kind of support we give to our daughters. We pretend we love them so much. But when you read the will, you discover the male children have everything. Things are changing. So I can only encourage us to support women.
The DG AKBC, Mrs. Magdalene Udokan, lauded the men of the AKBC TV chapel for the foresight, saying the move is unprecedented and should be emulated by all men of the AKBC family and spread across society. Mrs. Udokan encouraged the women to strive to be the best in all their endeavors, especially to set the pace for other women.
When we appreciate the men, people are wonderful. The chairman made a statement that this has never happened, and true, I support it. It has never happened. I should go down to the Guinness Book of Records. That the newsroom men are real men. Men of value. And I see them as great, like their families that appreciate their women. I love men that give women a place in their hearts. And we have them here. Newsroom guys, I want to thank you once again. And I also want to appeal to you to extend it to other people next time.
The chairman of the chapel, Comrade Udaiko, thanked the men for the initiative, calling other chapels to emulate such show of love.
And lo and behold, these guys came together and we are here today. Please, I think the men in the newsroom so thank you ladies for turning up for your own party something that has never happened before. Because everybody in our circles that I've mentioned to are saying it's never happened before, and truly I'm happy that it's happening in the AKBC chapel. We have to show them how to get these things done because it's not rocket science. So thank you for celebrating us. Thank you ladies for coming out. Thank you to our guests.
Mercy K, AKBC News.
Yesterday, April 14, 2024, made exactly 10 years after the abduction of 276 students from Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, Borno State. Parents and relatives gathered at the multi-purpose hall of the school to pray for the safe return of 92 girls unaccounted for. At the Interfaith service, speakers expressed mixed reactions following the outcome of the drastic events that drew the world's attention with the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls. On April 14, 2014, 276 female students were abducted by Boko Haram terrorists and taken into the Sambisa forest. 10 years on, 179 of them have either escaped or have been released, with several of them returning to their families as mothers or widows of deceased Boko Haram fighters, while few returned unmarried or without children. However, 92 of them remain unaccounted for. During the Interfaith program, religious leaders and parents could not hold back their tears as various speakers recounted their ordeal and effort to get the girls freed. That's all we have for you tonight, but before we go, another look at the major stories. The Akwa Ibom State government has released additional 1.4 billion naira for the payment of gratuities to retired civil servants. The release of the additional 1.4 million naira brings the total amount of gratuities paid so far by the Umoino administration in 10 months to 16.1 million naira. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has called on the state government to checkmate the activities of scavengers to forestall further destruction of strategic infrastructure. Sunday, April 14, 2024 made exactly 10 years after the abduction of 276 students from Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, Borno State. Parents and relatives gathered at the multi-purpose hall of the school to pray for the safe return of 92 girls unaccounted for. That's all we have for you tonight. We really appreciate your company. I am Juliet Richard. Good night.